Hey, good evening. I'm Kate Clanchy, and this is my book. This is Some Kids I Taught and What They Taught Me. And it's a memoir or series of essays about my 30 years teaching in state schools. It's a project that I've been working on for a long time, about 10 years, I think. And it's wonderful to have it out there. It's wonderful to be teachers reading it and liking it. And it's wonderful to have it shortlisted for this award. I'm really very, very grateful.
Lowborn is essentially an exploration of poverty in the UK. First of all, by tracing my own upbringing in deprived communities, both in Scotland and England, and the more longer lasting effects of growing up in quite extreme poverty. And then by returning to those towns that I grew up in to see what it's like now and how things have changed, and if they haven't changed, who's responsible.
Smishitol Echon Meek. I'm Donald Echon Meek, and Echon is a Gaelic name for Hector. This book is really an account of, I suppose, myself and my environments. A native Gaelic speaker in the island of Tiree, and I travelled away from Tiree, and of course I went to the universities in the mainland, and then spent my life in universities.
I'm Mary Miller, and I've written a book called Jane Haining, A Life of Love and Courage. Jane Haining was one of Scotland's heroines, undoubtedly, who hasn't been very well known in Scotland. She had worked with Jewish children in Hungary during the Second World War, and that when war broke out, she was ordered home by her employers, the Church of Scotland, and she refused to leave the children, and ultimately was arrested and died in Auschwitz.
I'm Melanie Reeds. I wrote a book called The World I Fell Out Of, about the personal catastrophe I suffered nearly 10 years ago when I fell off a horse and broke my neck. It was like a nuclear explosion blowing apart my whole life, my family's life. I always wanted to write the proper story in a book.
My name is David Wilson. I'm Emeritus Professor of Criminology at Birmingham City University, and my shortlisted book is My Life with Murderers.